and we're looking to hire more every day as we try to restart our restaurant business. The entire industry, amongst other industries, continue to struggle to find employees.
Guys, shut up.
How do you and the Biden administration plan to incentivize those that haven't returned to work yet? Hiring is our top priority right now.
Well, two things. One, if you notice, we kept you open. We spent billions of dollars to make sure restaurants could stay open. And a lot of people who worked as waiters and waitresses decided that they don't want to do that anymore because there's other opportunities at higher wages, because there's a lot of openings now in jobs. And people are beginning to move. There's some evidence that maintaining the ability to continue to not have to stay open. And a lot of people who worked as waiters and waitresses decided that they don't want to do that anymore because there's other opportunities at higher wages, because there's a lot of openings now in jobs. And people are beginning to move. There's some evidence that maintaining the ability to continue to not have to pay your rent so you don't get thrown out, and being able to provide for unemployment insurance has kept people from going back to work. There's not much distinction between not going back to work in a restaurant and not going back to work at a factory. So people are looking to change opportunities, change what they're doing. My deceased wife's father-in-law was a restaurateur up in Syracuse, New York, and
he's so mad. Look at his face.
By the way, he tried to convince. He had a restaurant that was in a town called Auburn.
Yeah, boy.
About 20,000 people, which was sort of flagship 24-hour.
Dude, I fucking hate Twitter video, dude. It's like progressively getting worse. Why? How are you a multi-million-dollar company and like you can't run a 2-minute video, dude, without it buffering like 8 times and the quality getting worse? Just like, no, my internet doesn't suck. Oh my God, 6-month subscriber. Get fucked. Get fucking banned.
Hasan, love you.
Or a day restaurant that, and he offered it to me, which I would have been making 5 times what I would in law school to try to keep me in Syracuse. But I spent too many times at home hearing the phone call. The cook didn't come in. He's in fight with his wife. What's going on? So
exactly.
God love you doing what you do. But all kidding aside, I think it really is a matter of people deciding now that they have opportunities to do other things, and there is a shortage of employees. People are looking to make more money and to bargain.
Memes.
I mean, it took him like a fucking while to get there, but he was basically like, yeah, pay him more, dude. What are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry. Is it too competitive all of a sudden for you to hire the best work?
Think of a time.
What's up? You don't like competition now when it's in the labor market? Yeah, because they don't. That's the reality. These motherfuckers don't like competition. They don't want to operate by the standards placed in front of them. They love subsidies when it's helping the business owners.
And by the way, can you ever think of a time, those of you who are economists who are...
Yeah, that small business owner owns 39 locations. His co-owner brother was crying about stimulus money last year too. After these leeches took $10 million in PPP funds and cried to the Cincinnati City Council for TIF funds too. Thank you, Dave. These motherfuckers are trashing this country, and all these commies who prefer government handouts to actual work love that this is the situation because it pushes our whole society further away. Yeah, now you're looking for fucking handouts. It's like, please, dude, please, sir, please, like, can you revert back to a situation where the poor are just fucking destitute and dying if they don't actually work for the shit-ass wages that I fucking offer them? Please, sir. It's incredibly difficult staffing these 39 restaurants. Ironic, because he already got the handouts.
Who teach here economics. Can you think of any time when the middle class did better, the wealthy didn't do really well? I'm not being facetious now. I'm being deadly earnest. Can you think of any time that's occurred when the middle class does better? I'm tired of trickle down. I come from the corporate state of America. And by the way, I think you should be able to go out and make $1 billion or $100 million if you have the capacity to do it. But I ask one thing, pay your fair share. Just pay your fair share. I really mean it. And hold the floor. You can't just say...
This was a bad take on the fucking filibuster, though.
I would go back to that where you have to maintain the floor. You have to stand there and talk and hold the floor. You can't just say it
I understand
now.
that. But what difference is that if you hold the floor for, a day or a year, what difference does it make? Here's the thing for me. You talked about people, and this is important for people who look like me. My grandmother would sit around when I was a kid, 5th grade, had a 5th grade education. I learned that she couldn't read when I was doing my homework. She would tell me stories about people asking her to count the number of jelly beans in the jar, or the soap. And so why is protecting the filibuster, is that more important than protecting voting rights, especially for people who fought and died for that?
No. It's not. I want to see the United States Congress, the United States Senate, pass S1 and S4, the John Lewis Act, get them to my desk so I can sign them. But here's the deal. What I also want to do, I want to make sure we bring along
Fucking Twitter video. I'm going to lose my mind.
not just all the Democrats. We bring along Republicans who I know better.
Why? No, we don't.
They know better than this. And what I don't want to do is get wrapped up right now in the argument whether or not this is all about the filibuster or, look, the American public.
They literally don't know better. They don't care. They know better and they don't care because they're fucking demons. Democrats are too, but like Republicans are just worse, okay? This is so stupid. I'm sorry, man.
You can't stop them from voting. We tried last time. More people voted last time than any time in American history in the middle of the worst pandemic in American history. More.
I love this notion that Democrats have, and this is exclusive to Democrats. You will never hear a Republican ever be like, "What?" You will never hear a Republican when they are in power ever turn around and be like, "Well, what about the Democrats? We need to have a bipartisan bill for the sake of bipartisanship." Okay?
And molding with Andrew that shit.
They literally tell every fucking Republican to shut the fuck up if they ever bring shit like that up. So dumb. Meanwhile, like the entirety of the forward-facing messaging coming from the Democratic Party revolves around like collaborating with Republicans. It's so stupid.
More people did, and they showed up. They're going to show up again. They're going to do it again. But what I want to do is I'm trying to bring the country together, and I don't want the debate to only be about.
I think this is disrespectful to democracy. I think this is disrespectful to the concept of democracy, American democracy. Now, here's why. If we have a system designed where the people vote for the Democrats to maintain the majority in the House, the majority in the Senate, and take the White House, then they should be able to enact the people's will, even with all of the hurdles thrown in the face of like actually having a representative democracy in this country, whether it be the psychotic electoral college, gerrymandering, all of the voter suppression that happens all around the country. Like in the face of all that, Democrats still end up carving out this narrow victory, and we still can't get shit done. It's like you're basically begging people to not vote or participate in this process. It's like you're telling people it doesn't matter if you fucking vote for us for the majority because we're still fucked. We're still cucked. Okay? We're still screwed. Kind of like the ad break that comes every hour at the top of the hour. And that's the truth, Jack.
Whether or not we have a filibuster or exceptions to the filibuster or going back to the way the filibuster.
Yeah, dude, if you solve a problem, how are you going to campaign on fixing it? Wait, what do you mean?
Buster had to be used before.
But isn't that the only way you're going to get it done right now?
No, I don't believe that.
Biden on defund the police movement.
Never.
What about defunding the police, though? Because there's
I've never said defunding the police. Look, I don't know any community, particularly the communities that are in the most need and the poorest and the most at risk, that don't want police. They want police, though, to look at them as equals. They want police to treat.
This is unironically it's a surprisingly well thought out way of saying it. Don't say no, Megalol. Don't say not true either. People want law and order. You're missing the point. If you think that people don't want actual fucking order, you're wrong. You're literally wrong. Okay? The problem, though, is that the way policing works in this country and the way policing works in general under a capitalist organization of the economy, and the way that policing certainly works in America, is like an occupying force in black and brown communities and in poorer communities in general. And what that means is their presence is unironically lawlessness and disorder. Anarchists in the chat, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Anarchists can say this shit all day long, but even they still want like some kind of democratically elected group of individuals that would maintain the presence of law and order that revolve around the democratically chosen, justifiable hierarchical laws and rules. Like they want some level of enforcement. Everybody wants some level of enforcement. I don't think poor white communities have problems with police for obvious bias / racist reasons. Not as badly as poor black neighborhoods do, but yeah, no, poor neighborhoods still have problems with police.
In a way.
Did you forget who Biden is? Literally the builder of the crime bill, literally way of putting black people, especially men in prison for private prison companies to use as slaves with wages for low 30 cents to $2 an hour. Yes, I did not forget that. That's why I'm saying it's like surprisingly a decently crafted narrative. Like one thing that liberal pundits get correct is that Joe Biden is a fucking consensus president. Okay? And when I say consensus, I don't mean the true consensus of the people on the ground. I mean the consensus of the people that actually do end up voting, which are wealthier on average, whiter on average, and also the consensus of the people that are in politics, like the consensus of the Democratic Party. Okay? He is the most average. Like, no matter what the fucking Democratic Party is at, no matter where it's at, he's average. He's smack dab in the middle of it. And this actually shows that. So I hate to admit it, but, Matty Iglesias and all these other people are correct when they say that. Dad streams games. Stop pretending to be fake woke, you dipshit Twitch streamer. Here comes more fake emotional appeal for the women in the chat. Hasan is a fraud. So many fake woke takes from you. You are the problem. You are the problem. Dude, are you all right? I mean, I know the answer. You literally are not all right. You're not having a good time on this planet. I hope you get help, dude. Seriously.
They don't.
Oh, Hunter. Hunter on drug addiction.
No better way than to speak about this than from experience. I don't think there's probably a family in this room who hasn't been affected by.
You banned 6 month subs for saying you might have bad internet, but not that guy? Yes, of course. 6 month subs know better. That guy is being a fucking asshole, but it's content. He is going to have more and more progressively idiotic takes. Dude, your description of a consensus president is not a good thing. I don't think it's a good thing at all, especially because the consensus is not the consensus of the people on the ground, but rather the consensus of the Democratic Party. So what I mean by that, and it's not good, but what I mean by that is he's just the fucking most like middle of the ground blank canvas motherfucker you can have on this issue. Ban the people who don't agree and call them out. You just put on a show. I mean, I'm literally not banning you because you are the show, dumbass. Your idiocy is the show. You're so stupid that it's entertaining for us. How does that make you feel?